This is the Vocaster Two Studio. It comes with a high-quality dynamic microphone, a really incredible audio interface, and some great headphones. Everything you need for a studio in a box. You can start creating your podcast, high-quality audio content, voiceovers, whatever you'd like. The Vocaster Two audio interface also has some cool features like auto gain and enhancing your voice. We're going to check all of those features out and put their microphone head-to-head with the Shure SM7B, and we'll see if the Vocaster 2 can run it without any cloud lifter or extra accessories. The Vocaster 2 audio interface is a really great piece of hardware. Knobs feel high quality, really good. We'll go through all the features of these buttons down here. Connections on the back, you see a power button, USB-C. You can even connect this to a camera, so if you want to use the audio from this interface in your video recordings, you could do that. You can connect an audio device via Bluetooth like a phone or iPad, or connect it directly via this aux jack. If you're using a condenser microphone, it has the phantom power button right there, 1/4-inch audio outs if you're using some monitors, and 2 XLR inputs for the host and guest. I like how they label it host and guest. This way there's no confusion about 1, 2, and which knob is affecting which microphone. On the front, you have 1/4-inch headphone jacks for both the host and the guest so they can monitor their own microphone and hear the other person. I'm going to hook this up to the computer via USB-C, and we'll connect the Vocaster DM14 mic into the host XLR. Now we can turn it on. I'm also going to connect this Shure SM7B to the guest XLR channel, and we'll test it alongside the Vocaster mic. We'll also plug the Vocaster Studio headphones that came in the box. I will say these headphones are really good quality, especially for monitoring yourself and hearing remote guests if you're using something like Riverside. So everything is really in the box, ready for you to record. Now here on the interface, these knobs on the left and right will actually adjust the headphone volume for the host and guest headphones. So if I'm the host and I want the volume to be louder in my headphones, I would use this knob, guest would use this knob. There's also a convenient mic mute button here. So if you're gonna cough or sneeze during the recording, you can just click that, it mutes your microphone temporarily, click it again to unmute, really nice. To adjust the gain of a microphone, you would click either host or guest, and then spin this middle knob to adjust the gain or volume sensitivity of that microphone. One knob for both microphones. If you need to adjust the guest, you would click that and then adjust the knob as well. This little magic wand icon is actually an enhanced feature, and there's several presets available in the Vocaster Hub software that you can run on the computer. You don't need their software to use the Vocaster 2 as an audio interface with your computer, but the software makes it easy to switch between some of those enhanced settings and see all the volume levels at a glance. You can see here in the Vocaster Hub, you see the mic level for the host, guest. You can also mute, enhance, auto gain, and we'll get to that in a second. Plus you can see the entire mix down here and the overall volume across all channels. Now, one of the really cool features here is auto gain. If you don't feel confident setting the volume levels for your microphone, but you want to make sure there's enough volume and it's not clipping or peaking, then you can do the auto gain feature. You can click auto gain in the software, or right here on the hardware device, I can hold either the host or guest button, and that will actually start a countdown where I would speak into the microphone for about 10 seconds, and it will measure my speaking volume and adjust the gain accordingly. Let me show you what it looks like. So now I'll actually hold the host button on the audio interface, and you'll see that white circle countdown. I'm supposed to talk into the microphone until that countdown finishes, and it's measuring my speaking volume and will adjust the gain accordingly. So it's not too hot, but there's enough volume. I can still adjust the mic volume with the knob even afterwards, but now I can be confident that I'm getting good enough volume from this microphone. And right now you're actually hearing me speak into the Vocaster DM14 microphone. It's a dynamic microphone with a built-in shock mount, a lot of the same features you see on high-end microphones. By itself, this microphone would be $200, which is honestly a great value for how it sounds. Let's compare it to the Shure SM7B and see how the Vocaster 2 handles the gain on the SM7. I'm now speaking into the Shure SM7B. I'm going to click over to the guest gain here on the audio interface, hold it down for a second. You'll see that white ring appear, and now I'm going to speak for as long as that white ring is counting down. It's measuring the gain into this microphone and setting it for my guest. Again, this is the Shure SM7B directly into the Vocaster 2, no FET head or cloud lifter in between, and honestly, it is a really clean amount of volume. You don't hear that hiss or noise using this interface. Pretty great. If you want to use the Shure SM7B and you're looking for a lower cost audio interface with lots of features, the Vocaster 2 is actually a great option. If you really just need the audio interface, there's also a Vocaster One. So if you're a solo creator, but you want that powerful interface with some of these features, you can get that for about $160 to $200, depending on whether it's on sale. Now going back to the Vocaster DM14 microphone, I'm going to go through some of these enhanced settings and you can see how it affects. It's really just an equalizer, compressor, but it actually has some cool sounds. And you'll see there's actually 4 presets. This is the radio preset for the enhanced button. Again, I can turn this off just by clicking the button on the audio interface or here in the software, and this will give you a little bit of that radio sound when you're on the microphone. You're listening to FM 101 Top Hits of the Morning. How did you like? Was that a good radio voice? I hope so. There's also a clean preset, maybe for a long-form podcast. Really want to make sure that you can be understood. There's a warm preset if you'd like to warm up your voice, you and your guest. You can use different enhanced settings for both the host and guest microphone, which is really cool. And finally, here is the bright preset for the Vocaster DM14. Those are all the different sounds, and we'll go back to no enhancement. This is now just the microphone DM14 into the Vocaster 2. Again, a really good sounding microphone, and you get everything in the box ready to record. I actually just turned on the Bluetooth for the Vocaster, and you can see I actually connected my iPhone to the Vocaster Bluetooth. Now, whatever I play from my iPhone, it could be sound effects, music, or even a phone call, and be recorded in the show mix on the Vocaster 2. For instance, if I started playing The Greatest Show, you'll actually see it in the Bluetooth channel. I would hear it in the headphones if I was listening, as would my guest and anyone else remotely using this as an audio interface. But an even better way to record with remote guests and make the most of the Vocaster 2 is using it with Riverside. I'll keep the Vocaster hub open so you can see all the audio levels, and I've gone to Riverside here in my web browser. You'll see I can choose the Vocaster 2 USB as my audio interface in and out, and that's what you would want to do. If you're using the Vocaster 2 or Vocaster 1, you want it to be your audio in and out. You'll connect your headphones directly to the Vocaster 2, and that's how you'll monitor your own audio and your remote guests. Click I'm using headphones, and then we'll join the studio. I can check the settings here in the sidebar, and you'll see the Vocaster 2 is still being used as the audio in and out, and now I'll hit record here in Riverside. Now I'm here in Riverside recording with the Vocaster 2 DM14 microphone. My remote guest will hear this and any other guest microphones that I attach to the interface, and I will hear my remote guest through Riverside. One thing to keep in mind, if you use the Vocaster 2 with Riverside and you have yourself and another in-person guest, Riverside will actually record both of those channels together. You won't be able to get a separate track because it's just one audio interface going into Riverside. If you'd like to record both you and another in-person guest, along with your remote guests, we have a great video about hybrid recording. There we show you how to record your local channels, plus let Riverside record yourself and the remote guests, and you'll get high-quality audio from every guest. But if you're a solo creator and all of your guests or interviewees are remote, the Vocaster is an incredible option to use with Riverside. You get a great sounding microphone with the Vocaster DM14, audio interface with awesome features like auto gain and the enhance if you like some of those sounds. And if you enable that enhance feature, and if I enable some of those enhance features like radio, that radio enhance effect will be recorded into Riverside. Remember, you can't take that out later, so make sure you really like the enhance feature, or you can work on adding some of that EQ and post-processing in post-production. We actually have a great playlist on compressor, EQ, and other post-production techniques. You can check out that playlist above or the link in the description. If you have any questions about the Vocaster 2 Studio or any other gear, leave a comment below this video. We'd love to help you there. And subscribe to the Riverside channel. We have lots of videos on USB microphones, audio interfaces, and how to build a video podcast setup. And the Vocaster 2 Studio would be a great backbone to that video podcast setup, especially since you could go audio out of the Vocaster 2 interface into a camera. But we can get into that. Leave a comment below if you'd like to see that. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.